Okay, so if you're like me and you own one of these mirrors, the ones that basically let you see the atoms on your skin, number one, you wish you'd never discovered it, but number two, and most importantly, no matter how good your skin is, this will always humble you. The second you look into this mirror is when you'll find an infinite amount of impurities. Every little blackhead, every pimple, every scar, and so if this is you, you've come to the right place. So today we're going to be talking about anti-aging in your 20s. Now this video doesn't only apply to your 20s. If you're in your 30s, 40s, or even older, then this is just the foundations for starting an anti-aging routine. So keep watching, don't click off. And I decided to start in the 20s because according to YouTube statistics, most of my audience is in their 20s or early 30s. Now before we get into the video, whether you're looking for a lightweight moisturizer, but one that actually feels like it works, or moisturizer for the winter, summer, any of the seasons, if you live on Earth or even Mars, make sure to head to caseyskin.com and check out our new website for the C-Soother 2.0. So you're in your 20s and you want to start anti-aging. Maybe you've got one of these mirrors and you started to notice some wrinkles or even around your eyes. And while it might be minor and right now it might not seem like a pressing issue, you should definitely start addressing it earlier. And the reason why we start to age in that sense in our 20s is because our skin's collagen starts to slow down as early as our mid-20s. Alright, so first we're going to be talking about home treatments. Now these may sound exotic, but they've actually been around for centuries and they're really easy to do, and you've probably seen some TikTok videos of them already. Like gua sha, jade roller, and even red light. Now I've done videos on these already, but just to give you guys an outline. Now the gua sha is a simple technique of just gently scraping the skin, and so this is meant to improve circulation. Then we have the red light therapy mask, which I'm sure you've seen on TikTok and could definitely be used as a Halloween costume. Red light therapy is meant to stimulate collagen production and reduce inflammation, so helping to maintain your skin's elasticity. And then we have the jade roller, which if used correctly can help in lymphatic drainage. And not only is it meant to do this, but if you stick it in the freezer or in the fridge and use it in the morning, it can be quite refreshing and calming. And there's also a whole face map for how to use a jade roller and in which directions you should use it. And now we can move on to some of the professional treatments, and one of the ones that I've gotten done is called a HydraFacial. I've done a video about it on my TikTok, but I'll put it up on the side of the screen while I explain what it is. Now this HydraFacial treatment will involve a combination of exfoliation, extraction, hydration, and protection. And the goal of it is to leave your skin looking more radiant and rejuvenated. I wish I took before and after photos just to see the exact results, but the thing I noticed the most is that it looked less dull. So, HydraFacial, I'll be seeing you guys again soon. Okay, now let's get to the part that most of you probably clicked on this video for, and that is the anti-aging skincare routine. And obviously, we're going to split these skincare routines in the morning and the night because we're skincare pros. Okay, so starting with the morning skincare routine, this should focus on protecting the skin and also hydration. So every skincare routine should start with a cleanser. Now, there are multiple types of cleansers. You have a cleansing balm, you have a normal cleanser that doesn't really foam up as much, and then you have a personal favorite, the ones that are purely foam when they come out of the bottle. Now there shouldn't be a difference in the efficacy of a cleanser that foams up as opposed to one that doesn't foam up as much. It all comes down to user preference, but the reason why I like the foam one is because I feel like I get a more even spread with the foam, and it also feels like it works a lot better. But in reality, it shouldn't. Alright, now after the cleanser, we have the vitamin C. And this is like the retinol in the day. And this is a product that will give you that radiant glow. And while it gives you that radiant glow, it will also combat free radicals. Then we have my favorite step of any routine, and that is the moisturizer. And I'm sure some of you relate because my skin is always feeling dry. And as the name suggests, it's meant to hydrate and it also protects. And of course my go-to is a C-Soother cream. And last but not least, as a cherry on top, don't forget to do this step whether you're going to the beach or not, whether it's sunny or rainy or cloudy. This step should always be done, and that is the sunscreen, because these are the shields against premature aging. Whether it's an SPF 30, 40, 45, or 50, as you can see, there are a bunch of sunscreens out there. The most important thing to remember is to apply this every day. I'm really liking the K-Skin ones at the moment, especially this Isn't-Tree hyaluronic acid one. But honestly, most sunscreens do it for me. And those are the essentials for the morning routine. Now I'm trying to keep this as short as possible because I know in the morning, not a lot of people have the time to do a 10-step skincare routine. So these are just the essentials. You can add in other products to address other concerns, but these should be the essentials. Okay, and now we can move on to the nighttime routine. Okay, now in the nighttime, because you tend to have a lot more time, even though you might be super tired, it would be optimal to have a double cleanse, and especially if you wear makeup that day. So you'll start with the cleansing balm, and then you'll go to the other cleanser, and it could be the same one that you used in the day. Now the cleansing balm, which does have an odd texture, I've just realized I've almost run out of this one, but this one is amazing at removing makeup, and it will also help to remove impurities. Then we move on to the key ingredient for this whole routine to work, and that is retinol. In short, this is meant to help boost collagen and cell turnover. And then another key product to use after retinol is a moisturizer, just to avoid some of the initial irritation and redness that can come from using retinol for the first time. And that is it for the nighttime skincare routine. But there are a few more things to note. So once again, why start all of this stuff now? And that's because of the prevention is better than the cure principle. Now, not to get too analytical right now, but it is true. Think of your skin as an investment account or even a savings account. So the more you put into it now, the more you'll get out of it in the future. And by doing these things now, you'll establish healthy habits. And in your 40s or 50s, people will come up to you in disbelief when they think you're in your mid-30s or even early 30s, as opposed to the opposite. Now, for those of you who have stayed to the end, here are some extra tips that you can incorporate into your routine, and these aren't necessarily skincare, so they don't require as much attention and time as a skincare routine would. And obviously we've looked at the classics like SPF, retinol moisturizer, and then your home treatments like jade rollers, gua sha, and even red light therapy. So here they are. Alright, so the first one we're going to start with is the ice roller. Now you can get loads of these in different forms. You can even use ice if you wanted, but these are nice as they have the rounded edges. Now I know what you're thinking right off the bat. Is that too cold for your skin or sensitive skin? This is kind of along the same lines of the jade roller in the sense that it can wake you up if you put it in the fridge. Although this one you do want to put in the freezer. So you can use the ice roller in the night, but you can also use it in the morning, which is when I prefer to use it. And this will feel so nice, especially if you're really tired. And it's a super easy way to wake you up. Especially for the people who don't shower in the morning to wake themselves up. This is a great alternative. And this would actually be considered as cryotherapy. Also, besides from giving your face a wake-up call, these will actually boost your circulation and reduce inflammation. And you've probably seen videos of these on TikTok or even YouTube where people get a bowl of ice and cold water and stick their head in for about 10 to 20 seconds, but not longer than that. And the results and feeling will speak for themselves. And now for the easiest tip that you can follow, and one of my favorite things to do, and that is to have a silk pillowcase when you sleep. Now you may be asking, why would you choose a silk pillowcase, which may be a little bit more expensive, but sometimes they're even not, as opposed to a cotton one or just the normal standard ones that you'd find. And that's because a silk pillowcase has a lot less friction, and therefore it won't make your face scrunch up as much when you're laying against it as you sleep. And besides that, I've also noticed that these actually get less warm when you're sleeping, so it's like having a constant cool side of the pillow, with the added benefits of reducing the chances of fine lines and wrinkles. And this is a reminder for all of you who haven't washed your pillow in maybe 1 or 2 weeks, don't forget to wash your pillowcases because loads of bacteria, dead skin cells, and other debris can build up on your pillowcases and can actually eventually clog your pores. I'd also like to know what kind of anti-aging routines you guys are using at the moment, whether you're using some of the products I've mentioned or the home treatments, or whether you still need to level it up a bit. And in our 20s, it may seem like we have a lot of time, but you may be at college, you may be working, and you may be balancing loads of things. So these easy tips are really nice to have, and it's good to know that they're actually beneficial. And they really don't take long to incorporate. And there are the extra tips for sticking around. So now, just to really hone in on the message of skin protection, let's look at the difference that sun protection can actually make. Let's look at 2 photos. Some of you may know this person, but here's a photo of Brigitte Bardot. In the first photo, obviously she's young, but you can see the photo of her skin before the sun damage had time to catch up. And in the second photo, you can see the effects of the years and years and years of sun exposure. Alright, now as I mentioned before, as you transition into your 30s, the journey doesn't stop, but it evolves. So let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video on anti-aging in your 30s, and we can go more into depth on the advanced techniques that can be used then. But until then, make sure to comment and subscribe, and also check out some of my other videos.